Picture a world where empires rise and fall with the setting sun, a time when one man dared to dream bigger than anyone before him. This was a time of great upheaval and change, an era when the geopolitical landscape was as volatile as the sea. Greece, once a collection of fiercely independent city-states, was now united under the banner of Macedonia. Persia, the world's superpower, stretched from Egypt to India, its wealth and might unparalleled. Egypt, rich in culture and history, was a jewel coveted by all. The political climate was a tinderbox waiting to ignite. Alliances were as brittle as autumn leaves, and treachery was often rewarded more than loyalty. Social norms were shifting, with old traditions giving way to new practices. Warfare was evolving too, with the phalanx, a formation of soldiers moving and fighting as one, becoming the preferred strategy on the battlefield. Amidst this turmoil, Macedonia was on the rise. Under the rule of King Philip II, this once modest kingdom was transformed into a formidable power. Philip's military genius, diplomatic acuity and vision for a united Greece laid the groundwork for an empire. But his reign was cut short, his life taken in the prime of his rule. In the wake of this tragedy, a young man ascended to the throne, a man who, despite his youth, had a vision that surpassed the confines of his father's kingdom. He was not content with ruling Macedonia. He had his sights set on the world. His name was Alexander, a name that would echo through the corridors of history, forever synonymous with greatness. Alexander the Great, a young man of just 20, ascends to the throne of Macedonia, his eyes set on the vast Persian Empire. In 334 BC, Alexander leads his army to Granicus, the gateway to Asia Minor. The first significant clash of Alexander's campaign, the Battle of Granicus, was a daring display of his military acumen and audacity. The Granicus River, while not a formidable natural barrier, was strategically vital. It served as the first line of defense for the Persian Empire in Asia Minor, and its control was crucial for Alexander's ambitions. The Persians, aware of its importance, were ready, their forces assembled on the steep banks of the river. Alexander, however, was undeterred. He was a risk-taker, a trait that would come to define his military career. With his companion cavalry, he led a daring charge across the river, directly into the heart of the Persian forces. It was a gamble, a high-risk maneuver that could have led to his early demise. But Alexander was not just a brave warrior, he was a brilliant tactician. His audacious charge created a diversion, drawing the attention of the Persian forces. This allowed the Macedonian phalanxes, the backbone of Alexander's army, to cross the river largely unopposed. Once they were on the other side, they formed up and began to push back the Persians. The battle was fierce, but Alexander's gamble paid off. The Persians were defeated, and the gateway to Asia Minor was open. The Battle of Granicus was a testament to Alexander's tactical brilliance and his willingness to take risks. It was also a significant victory. Not only had he defeated a formidable enemy, but he had also secured a crucial strategic point. Granicus opened the path deeper into the Persian Empire and marked the beginning of Alexander's relentless advance. The outcome of this battle was a clear demonstration of Alexander's military prowess and his determination to conquer. It boosted the morale of his troops and struck fear into the hearts of his enemies. With the victory at Granicus, Alexander had set the tone for his campaign against the Persian Empire. Alexander's next major obstacle is Tyre, a fortified island city. Now, Tyre wasn't just any city. It was a stronghold perched on an island about half a mile off the coast, its mighty walls plunging straight into the sea. This posed a significant challenge to Alexander and his army. But if history has taught us anything, it's that Alexander was not one to back down from a challenge. The Siege of Tyre, which took place in 332 BC, was a masterclass in strategic thinking and innovation. With the city surrounded by water, a direct onslaught was impossible. Alexander, however, was not deterred. He ordered the construction of a causeway, a massive undertaking that involved moving mountains of rubble and debris from the mainland to the island. This land bridge allowed his forces to reach the city, a feat previously thought impossible. But the Tyrians were not about to give up their city without a fight. They launched attacks from their navy, trying to disrupt the construction of the causeway. In response, Alexander used his own fleet to protect the workers, ensuring the causeway's completion. After 7 long months, the causeway was ready. Alexander led his troops across the narrow strip of land and, using siege towers and battering rams, breached the city walls. Tyre fell to Alexander, a testament to his tenacity, resourcefulness, and sheer force of will. The fall of Tyre was a pivotal moment in Alexander's campaign. It sent a clear message to other cities in the region. Resistance was futile. This victory not only secured Alexander's control over the Phoenician fleet, but also gave him a strategic foothold in the Mediterranean. It was a grueling and bloody battle, but one that showcased Alexander's genius in overcoming seemingly insurmountable obstacles. His victories were not just feats of military might, but also of strategic innovation, solidifying his reputation as a formidable and unstoppable force. With Tyre under his control, Alexander had the Mediterranean at his command. His eyes were now set on the heartlands of the Persian Empire, and nothing, it seemed, could stand in his way. The Battle of Gaugamela, a face-off between the world's 2 most powerful empires. Picture a vast plain in modern-day northern Iraq, the year 331 BC. The odds were heavily stacked against Alexander the Great. He commanded an army of approximately 40,000, while King Darius III of Persia boasted a force that was, by some accounts, 5 times as large. Yet Alexander was not deterred. He was a master tactician, known for his ability to turn the tide of battle in his favour, regardless of the numerical disadvantage. He employed a strategy that was as daring as it was brilliant. Instead of directly attacking the Persian front, he led his companion cavalry in a sweeping arc to the right. This unexpected maneuver drew the Persian cavalry away from the centre, creating a gap in the enemy's line. Seizing the opportunity, Alexander galloped through the opening with his elite cavalry straight for Darius. The Persian king, witnessing the onslaught, was gripped by fear and fled, leaving his troops in disarray. This marked the turning point of the battle. The once mighty Persian force crumbled under the bold strike of Alexander's cavalry and the relentless assault of his infantry. The Battle of Gaugamela was not just a military victory for Alexander, it was a psychological one. His audacious tactics caused chaos in the Persian ranks, leading to a decisive victory that significantly outnumbered Macedonian forces had no right to expect. The aftermath of the battle was monumental. It marked the fall of the Persian Empire, once the most powerful entity in the known world. Cities surrendered without resistance, and the path to the heart of the empire was laid bare for Alexander. He had achieved what seemed impossible, demonstrating that with audacity, tactical brilliance, and unyielding determination, even the mightiest of foes could be vanquished. With Gaugamela, Alexander the Great had toppled an empire. This battle remains a testament to his military genius, forever echoing through the corridors of history as a prominent example of strategic brilliance and audacious leadership. Alexander, now master of the Persian Empire, sets his sights on the unknown lands of the East. With Persia secure under his rule, the ever-ambitious Alexander turned his gaze to the east, to the exotic lands of India, a region shrouded in mystery and tantalizing tales of vast wealth and strange beasts. In the spring of 326 BC, Alexander led his army across the daunting Hindu Kush mountains, a journey fraught with harsh weather and treacherous terrain. The freezing cold and steep slopes tested the mettle of his men, but Alexander's indomitable spirit pushed them forward. Once in India, they encountered a new set of challenges: the sweltering heat, the monsoon rains, and the unfamiliar fauna. But it was the mighty Indian elephants, used in warfare, that posed the greatest threat. These towering beasts were unlike anything the Macedonians had faced before, and they were to play a crucial role in the Battle of Hydaspes. In a fierce battle against King Porus of the Paurava kingdom, Alexander's tactical genius shone once more. Despite the torrential rain and the formidable line of war elephants, Alexander's forces managed to secure a hard-fought victory. King Porus, admired by Alexander for his bravery and resilience, was allowed to retain his kingdom, marking a new phase of diplomacy in Alexander's campaign. Yet, the Battle of Hydaspes took a heavy toll on the Macedonian army. The soldiers, exhausted and homesick, yearned for an end to their eastern campaign. At the banks of the Beas River, the men refused to march further. Faced with a mutiny, Alexander was forced to turn back, his dream of reaching the Eastern Ocean unfulfilled. The lands of the East proved a formidable challenge. Alexander's dream of a world empire was halted at the banks of the Beas River. Thus, the invasion of India marked the end of Alexander's relentless march eastwards, a testament to the limits even the greatest of conquerors must face. Alexander the Great, a king, a conqueror, and a visionary, left behind a legacy that echoes through the ages. His invasions not only expanded the borders of his empire, but also brought about a profound cultural transformation. From the Mediterranean to the Indus River, Alexander's conquests ignited the spread of Hellenistic culture, a vibrant fusion of Greek and Eastern traditions. This cultural diffusion was no accident. Alexander intentionally set the stage for Hellenistic culture to flourish. He founded over 20 cities throughout his empire, many bearing his name, and these would become hotbeds of Hellenistic thought and art. Alexandria in Egypt, the most famous of these, would grow into a beacon of knowledge, housing the legendary Library of Alexandria and the Lighthouse, one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. But Alexander's legacy is not just in the culture left behind. He revolutionized the art of warfare. His tactical genius, showcased in epic battles such as Granicus, Gaugamela, and Hydaspes, set a new standard for military leadership. His use of the phalanx, a formation of heavily armed infantry, coupled with his mastery of cavalry maneuvers, changed the face of battlefields. His strategies are still studied in military academies around the globe today. Yet the greatest testament to Alexander's legacy may be the enduring fascination with his life and deeds. His ambition, his victories, and his vision of a united world continue to captivate us. His story is a testament to the power of a single individual's ability to shape the course of history. Despite his untimely death at the age of just 32, Alexander's influence continued to permeate the ancient world. His generals, known as the Diadochi, fought for control of his vast empire, further spreading Hellenistic culture in their wake. Alexander's empire crumbled after his death, but his legend lives on. A man who dared to dream and change the world in his pursuit. His story reminds us that the echoes of a person's actions can reverberate long after their time, shaping the world in ways they could have only imagined. Alexander's invasions, a tale of audacity, strategy, and an unquenchable thirst for conquest. In a span of a mere dozen years, Alexander the Great, a young king from the small kingdom of Macedonia, managed to carve out one of the largest empires the world had ever seen. His campaigns took him from Greece through Persia and all the way to India before his untimely death at the age of 32. Alexander's journey to greatness began at the Battle of Granicus, where he displayed his tactical brilliance against the Persian army. Despite being heavily outnumbered, Alexander led his forces to a decisive victory, proving that he was a force to be reckoned with. This victory marked the beginning of his unstoppable conquest, a testament to his audacity and strategic genius. His audacity was further demonstrated in the Siege of Tyre, where he transformed an island city into a peninsula, quite literally moving mountains to achieve his goals. This unprecedented move was a clear demonstration of Alexander's innovative military strategies, which played a key role in his success. The Battle of Gaugamela was perhaps his most significant victory. Here, Alexander went up against the Persian king Darius III and his vast army. Alexander's tactical brilliance shone once again as he used the enemy's strength against them, leading to a decisive victory that marked the end of Persian domination and the beginning of a new era. Alexander's thirst for conquest did not stop at Persia. He continued his journey east all the way to India, marking the furthest point of his empire. The invasion of India was a grueling campaign that tested the limits of Alexander's forces, but it also highlighted his relentless determination and ambition. Yet Alexander's story is not just about military conquest. His legacy extends beyond the battlefield. He introduced Greek culture and language to the regions he conquered, creating a unique blend of cultures that shaped the course of history. His influence can still be seen today in the form of Hellenistic art, architecture, and philosophy that have stood the test of time. In the end, Alexander's campaigns were a testament to human audacity, strategic genius, and an insatiable thirst for conquest. He pushed the boundaries of what was thought possible, expanding his empire farther than any before him. His victories on the battlefield were impressive, but it was his ability to merge cultures and leave a lasting legacy that truly made him great. Alexander the Great, a name etched in history, a story of ambition, conquest, and a dream larger than the world.